Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fire and Blazing Sword Let's Play. Zane is back with us again.
I'm back!
Yes, he is. Sorry.
The King Bahamut is back! There has never been a better time to be on this earth. You ride that wave, you climb that mountain. You're a dragon in the clouds, because dragons make everything better. I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore.
Well, all I know is you know how to make one hell of an intro every goddamn time.
That's right.
It's gonna be like a running gag. Every time we introduce him, we have a 3-minute intro just showing how marvelous this man is.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm not even doing the correct intro. That's not even the correct intro, because this is not Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
No, it is not.
No, that's the next Let's Play.
No, it's actually the original.
Oh, are you going to do the original Crash Bandicoot games
I'm going to
next?
do the original trilogy and then tackle Insane afterwards. Yes, that means I have to sit through the original Crash 1. But it's going to be a funny LP, because when we get to Sunset Vista, all you're going to hear is...
Okay, then. I was not expecting that to be in my ears.
Sorry, I'm going to have to really tone that down in recording. Sorry about that.
It didn't bother me that much. Anyways.
No, but on the other side of the thing, one of his ears is bleeding, and I've got to pay compensation for that. Sorry.
Yes. Well,
so
anyways.
Sorry that this took so long to upload. I just come back from holiday in Portugal, so I couldn't be doing anything that week.
Yep. And we had some technical difficulties starting this episode off.
Yeah, for some reason Discord hates Zane.
Yeah, it's got me like, Discord, I'm howling at the moon and sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon. Discord, whatever did we do to have the technical difficulties?
For some reason you couldn't click call.
Yeah, I know. I was like, the thing is that I don't actually have the Discord app on my computer. I was trying to use it through my internet browser.
And that's your first mistake.
And that turned out to not be a good idea, because when Lewis was sending me the call, it just would not freaking work. It just did not want to click.
Yeah. It's like, no, I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Discord, so, he is the god of chaos and trickery and whatnot.
Indeed.
Why am I making My Little Pony references? I am a manly man.
Excuse me, the My Little Pony fanbase is mostly men, and that's the sad part.
It's just kind of interesting to me. I mean, I don't watch the show because...
I've seen a few episodes only because Olivia loves it.
Well, here's the thing. I don't watch the show, but I like hearing people talk about it, because it's always interesting to see how passionate people get about what is ostensibly a little girl's cartoon that has qualities. I don't care for it all that much, because it is still very much a little girl show, and it has some trappings of a little girl show, like occasional moments of misandry and some hiccups with world building that I think could have been ironed out. But
yeah.
But even with that, the recent seasons have apparently been fixing some of those problems that I had. So, I mean, I don't plan on watching it anytime soon. But it's at least making progress.
When you're on the internet, you can't really not know what My Little Pony is.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Brony fan base is still going strong. What is it, 6 years after the show first debuted? Is it?
Yeah, and that's why Olivia said, I'm never going to a My Little Pony convention, because I'll be surrounded by 40-year-old men.
Oh god, that would be a very awkward thing.
That would be awkward. It's like, this is a show aimed at girls. Why am I surrounded by all these men?
It's like 40-year-old men hitting on Olivia. That's a can of worms that we don't need to open.
Please.
Lewis is gonna have to punch a bitch.
Yeah, I already punched one bitch in the last video I made.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Oh, that animation was awesome, though.
I got so many comments like, was not expecting that, but I approve.
Yes, I know. And then also there was that video that you just recently uploaded today with the little bit of animation of Corrin's cape blowing at the end. And
his hair.
Yeah, that really looked nice, actually.
It's a little thing. It's just a side project I wanted to do, and it's like, because the music fit what it should have fit what Fate should have been. And I was like, this really works, I should really do this.
Yep. And it did. I was a little surprised to notice. I've not watched the Full Metal Alchemist original show. I've watched a little bit of Brotherhood, but I didn't know that was actually Vic Mignogna singing.
I didn't know he could sing. So yeah, showing off this.
I didn't even know he could sing.
Yeah. So I'm showing off the preparation screen just for this one time. I'm going to do it every Fire Emblem game. When we first get the prep screen, I'm going to show it off. Pretty much the same as it was in Binding Blade, but the music used here is a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's not as good as Sacred Stones' preparation theme. That shit is awesome.
That one's my second favorite. My favorite is Radiant Dawn's endgame one, Pray for Victory. That's awesome. Yeah,
that one's great because it just has the size to it. But I think I like Sacred Stones one a little bit more because it's more catchy.
Oh, the Sacred Stones one I love.
I especially love the Brawl remix of Prepare to Advance because that's just awesome. That's just such a
it was so
song.
good they put it in Brawl.
Yeah.
And if the song was good enough to get in Brawl, then you know it's good.
Song's good enough to get in Smash Bros. It's quality.
Yeah, which is why the next Smash Bros. Are gonna they better put more Fates and Echo songs in there because those two games had fantastic soundtracks. Could you imagine like March of the Deliverance in Smash?
Oh yeah. I mean, I really liked Echo's soundtrack. You know, a lot of the songs it had were really great. But I actually listened to the original Gaiden soundtrack, and some of the songs, the way they're presented in Echoes is very different from how they sounded in the original Gaiden, which is kind of interesting. Like the Celica's Part 4 map theme in Gaiden sounds nothing like it does in Echoes.
For better or worse, though.
I mean, in Echoes, it sounds kind of like some of the late game Conquest music, like with just how bombastic it is.
Yep.
But then you have, but like in the original, it's just a little bit more like straightforward rock track. But
okay.
You know, like chiptune stuff. But
I see.
Anyways.
Oh yeah. So anyway, new character Lucius. Also, forgot to mention the recruitment theme used in this game is the oh so iconic Together We Ride, and I gotta say I love this version of the song. It's so good. Yeah.
I mean, Together We Ride is just a kick-ass song, you know?
It is a kick-ass song. It perfectly like just works with Fire Emblem. Together We Ride into victory, or in Awakening's case, Together We Ride that ass. Have you seen that video?
Nope.
Oh, it's this a hilarious remix they've done, and it's got with the Beach DLC and Tharja with her ass, and it's got Ike, Crom, and Marth just going dad ass. This really good like hip hop remix. It's so funny.
Okay then.
I've got to link it to you after this is done. But anyway.
Anyways,
so this is Lucius.
We've got Lucius, and we also get access to Nils, if I'm correct.
Yes, there is. We get Nils and Lucius. So let's talk about Lucius first. By the way, Lucius is a guy. Yes, I bet some of you are like, what? Hey, this isn't the first time Fire Emblem has done this.
To be fair, Lucius is a guy's name. You know, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know Lucius Malfoy is Draco's dad.
Yeah. But, there's no denying Lucius looks quite feminine, just saying. But, like, to be fair, like, I still think Libra was worse for me. For the longest time, I had no fucking clue Libra was,
Well, that's because Libra's voice actor actually is a voice actress.
Oh, right.
He's played by a woman.
A woman. Okay, fair enough. So anyway, Lucius. Lucius is the glass cannon of this game. High attack, or magic in this case, pretty good speed, good skill, very good resistance actually, not decent HP, bad luck, and shit defense. So against physical units, he can't take any hits, but he can dish out a lot of damage, and he actually makes for a great magic tank. So Lucius, overall, pretty damn good unit. I'd say he's definitely one of the better magic units in this game, and he's one of my personal favorites. He's actually my personal favorite bishop/light magic user in Fire Emblem. I really like Lucius.
There's some people who say that Lucius can eventually turn out to be a more useful healer than Sarah. Like, he's not... Obviously, you're going to need to use Sarah early on because you have to have a staff user on standby, and Lucius can't do that just yet. But I honestly didn't bother with Lucius for whatever reason. Like, it's not that I hear that he's a good unit. It's just I never really bothered on my first playthrough.
This playthrough, you'll see why. You will see why.
I will see.
But the main reason he's better than Ceres when he promotes, one thing, he goes straight to C-level staffs upon promotion, and he's got high magic and skill stat, and Ceres' magic stat is not very good.
Wow, I did not know he had that big of a jump in staff.
Yeah, he goes straight to C-level. Huh. So he can use barrier straight from the get-go.
Shows how much I know about this game.
That's fair enough. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, I know. And then, of course, we have Nils, who is the bard.
Which is basically dancer, yeah.
This game is a little weird because it counts Nils and his sister Ninian, the actual dancer, as the same character in terms of unit progression. So it's a little weird in that regard. I really like Nils's sprite and animation in this game.
He kind of looks like he's like one of the Lost Boys from Peter Pan. He's just so jippy.
Yeah, I know. And of course, Nils obviously is, your dancer for half the game. So he's very important, or at least to me.
Yeah. In this game in particular, like I've gone on record saying dancers are one of the classes I'm not huge on, even though I still like them, which a lot of people tend to get wrong. They think I don't like them. But Nils works because what Nils can do, he has these rings, and which can buff your unit, so more attack, more defense, more critical, more evasion, stuff like that, which I found to be very useful in this game, and it gives him more to do outside of just making units move twice. I mean, making units move twice is still very useful, but that added bonus, I think, really pushes Ninian and Nils into favorite dancer territory along with Azura.
Yeah, my stance on dancers is kind of different from yours. I use dancers in pretty much any playthrough. I love the dancer class because they do end up you do lose the potential for another unit, but dancers have so much utility to them that it's almost like, the trade is not that uneven.
Yeah. Because definitely. They're considered one of the best classes, and it's mainly because... especially if you're one of the players who's trying to optimize and do things as quickly as possible, then dancers are essential.
Here's the thing about dancers is that even though they aren't terribly useful in combat, their main draw is that they can help take some pressure off of your army, like allowing healers to heal twice, and also allowing units who can't fight or have trouble getting kills to get experience more easily. So just from that alone, they end up being more useful than a lot of people realize, even if they are a little bit of a pain in the ass to protect at times.
Yeah, but generally they have high evasion, though, so they often dodge.
And in some of the later games, you get dancers who can fight back, like Olivia and Azura.
Yeah, but Olivia was so weak, it didn't make a difference. Azura actually has, funny enough, I don't know what a strength stat is, but she tends to have, especially in Birthright, deal actually a pretty good amount of damage.
I think she has, either a 50% strength growth or a 60% strength growth.
Either way, Azura can kill people, and that says something.
I know.
A dancer can kill people.
It's just a shame that Azura's weapon level is crap in that game. She can only get up to a C rank in staves, which I don't get why that is, but...
I don't get it either, but what are you going to do?
I guess it's just to keep her from being too overpowered.
Yeah, well, she's... to be fair, I was using Azura, not so much Conquest, only because Conquest, she'll die in one hit from the enemies, but Birthright, she was like a frontline runner. She was just really good, because Birthright's generally easier.
Yeah. I mean, Azura's just such a useful unit,
Very much so.
Yeah. But getting back to this game...
Yeah, also, Ninian and Nils have the exact same stats and growth rates, and if they level up and stuff, they carry over between when you switch them out, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said, is that the game treats them as one single unit. Character.
Which makes sense in the context of things.
I know, because there's... Spoiler alert, there's points where you'll be using Nils, and there's points where you'll have to be using Ninian, because... Yeah. And you'll switch back and forth because Ninian will be out of commission, and...
Or Nils will be out of commission.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have access to them all the time, but it's for plot reasons.
I will say, one thing about Nils and Ninian is that, for whatever reason, I never bothered with any of their stat boosting dances and stuff. Just for some reason, I never found those useful. It's kind of like enough. It's kind of like some of the extra Galdrar that the Herons get in Radiant Dawn. It's like, okay, these are cool effects, but why would I bother using these when I can have units, moving again?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Oh well, Herons. Their main draw is being able to make multiple units move, which is wonderful. I know.
You have Race and Transformed, and you suddenly get 4 units moving at the same time. It's like, why would you pass that up?
I think Raphael can do about 6.
Raphael can do 4 at all times, but he has the drawback of not being able to fly.
Oh, right. And I know Leanne can do 2 naturally.
Leanne can do 2 naturally, but she can only do 2 at a time, regardless of whether or not she's transformed. She's generally considered the least useful of the Herons.
Yeah, well, I always use Racing the most because he's the one who can actually take a hit.
Yeah, Racing is generally considered the best because he has to be transformed in order to get multiples to move again, but
once he's transformed, he can actually you don't have to like baby him so much or protect him so much.
And the other thing is that he's flying at all times, so he has the most movement out of anybody.
That's why in the end, that's why in the end game of Radiant Dawn, Lagoo's Gem.
Yep.
That thing is wonderful.
Yep. Lagoo's Gem is useful, except for the fact that it comes so friggin' late in that game.
Yeah, but it may be late, but when you get it, it's really damn good.
Yeah, better late than never, I always say.
That doesn't explain Garrett.
Garrett?
That the other dragon you get alongside Nasir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, better late than never. He comes late and he's next to useless.
You mean Gareth?
Yeah, sorry. Garrett's the thingy from the last game.
Yeah.
Also, fun thing I've noticed about this game, did you notice the flux animation went really quickly compared to like Sacred Stones and Binding Blade?
No, it doesn't look like it's any different to me, but I was only sort of half paying attention. Oh!
Look, it's Hector!
It's Hector!
The one and only. We'll talk about him when Hector officially appears, but yeah, if you go in his house with Matthew, you get the special conversation, because Matthew works for Hector. Spoilers.
Yep. That he does.
Hector's like one of the big fan favorites, and it's for one reason and one reason only.
He just wrecks shit.
He does wreck shit.
He fucks shit up.
Yeah, fuck shit every day.
Yep. Ugh. And so Hector's a little special to me because his sprite is the basis for my avatar sprite.
Hey, it works.
Yeah, any of you who follow me on Twitter know that my picture is it was actually intended to be a sprite of an OC that I would use for a Fire Emblem ROM hack, which was back when I thought that I actually could ROM hack games.
And then reality kicked you in the dick.
Reality kicked me in the dick and was like, no one's going to help me. No one's going to help me with it, and trying to do it myself just drove me loopy. So it's actually but I found out a way to make sprites by splicing together pre-existing ones. And so And I found out that the particular sprite I had made looked like me, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to use this as my profile picture.
Hey man, it works. I mean, to be fair, splicing's done a lot of times for like ROM hacks and fan games.
I know, it's been done before, it's just that, and it's actually pretty easy to do. It's just that the only thing is that it's in some respects not as impressive as like
making your own one from scratch. Yeah. But hey, if you've got the assets, might as well use them.
Yeah, I know. So you were saying that you thought that the flux animation was moving quicker.
You might see it in this one, but the animations are considerably faster. Like they go, that goes through the ground up quite fast. Because in the other ones, it's kind of slow, which I never really like. I get the he's going to critical first of all. 5% blazing luck once again.
Yep.
So watch him.
He doesn't. It would only be blazing luck if he actually killed him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean I don't have a comparison for Binding Blade or Sacred Stones' flux animations, but it didn't seem all that different to me.
Okay.
Like the shaman's animation is kind of infamous for just kind of taking forever.
Yeah. Hey, it could be worse. It could be Radiant Dawn's Knights.
Well, okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. Point proven. Yeah. So yeah, you just took out a member of the Black Fang, an infamous group who we're going to see a lot later on in the game.
Yep.
But yeah, this is the first time we get into the real plot part of the game.
Mm-hmm. And by plot, we don't mean Camilla strutting her stuff down the walkway in Chapter 13.
So that's why people say Birthright has the best story out of the three. Oh, it makes so much sense.
I was not expecting to walk right into that joke.
What are you gonna do? All that plot. No, but this is actual plot.
Yeah. Yep.
And here comes one of the most underrated Fire Emblem Lord.
Eliwood.
Good old Ellie, or Ellie Good, as the people like to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, focus more on him when we actually get around to thing. And this is also Ninian, Nil's sister.
Ninian. And I feel so bad because because I may have mentioned this before, but I absolutely hate the way that support conversations work in the GBA games, and
they suck.
It's especially bad in this game because Eliwood and Ninian are such a great couple together, and it's so hard to raise support levels between them, so you can't see. It's like, it was so bad for me to have them interacting throughout the game, and then just have that relationship go nowhere at the end, and have her have to go back through the Dragon's Gate, and I was like, well, god damn it.
While that is true, their supports do go, like Ike and Soren in Path of Radiance, their supports do build faster than other characters.
Okay.
So, in this game, I'm trying as hard as I can to get them to support together.
And the other thing I noticed from the little I played of Binding Blade, like, supports in that game raise at least a little bit quick. They raise at least a little bit quicker. Like, I wasn't even trying, and I got Lance and Alan's C support within, I think, the first 3 chapters or so, like 3 or 4 chapters. So I was kind of surprised by that.
So it can, even though the system still doesn't work as a whole, it can be done right. So it does explain why Sacred Stones and Blazing Sword, and especially Path of Radiance, takes so damn long. Oh yeah,
Path of Radiance's support conversations take a while.
They take so fucking long.
They are really irritating. Sacred Stones I give a little leeway because that game is a little bit more open-ended with its design, but it's still pretty bad.
Yeah,
it still takes way longer than it needs to.
Very true, but thankfully, Awakening onwards, well, maybe not, sort of Echoes, they fixed the support system.
I mean, Echo's support system is what this game's support system should have been.
Minus quality.
It's not quite perfect because I prefer support conversations that happen off the battlefield because there's just more you can do.
Yeah, you can relax and do them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to sacrifice strategy just to listen to people talk.
I know, yeah.
Which makes it worse when the conversation is shit.
Yep. Insert Faye joke here.
I even got a post even someone on Twitter, I think it was Punk Rose, was like, Faye's support with Silk is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, I told you.
I told you so, but you didn't listen.
Nobody ever listens.
I don't know. I don't know. I've been hearing people make arguments about Faye, and I don't know. It's just like I can't really bring myself to hate her that much.
That's fair enough. It's all down to preference. I mean, I know people who really like Faye, and I get why. I don't.
I mean, I love her design, and I think she's cute as a button. It's just that, I don't get why the writing staff felt the need to just have her only character trait be Alm.
I don't know either. Maybe Faye was. Remember, I think Faye was new for Echoes, right?
Yeah, she was an addition to that game.
Yeah, they put all the writing and focus on Bakut, and then the 1% they had left's like, oh, let's write Faye.
I know. I was like, you could have used that time to flesh out some of the other existing characters. Like, I would have loved to see more of Rudolph. I think he was kind of wasted potential.
Yeah, he was. He was actually kind of cool, all things considered.
I mean, they did a good job with updating Jeddah, but I don't know how much Jeddah figured into the original plot of Gaiden. So it's kind of I don't know how much of a how much
difference.
How much of a difference? Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah, and also we've got Ninian's theme playing in the background, Reminiscence. Love that song. It's so her. Because Ninian is she's like the Fire Emblem equivalent of a princess, even though there are princesses, but she's the most princessy type character. And I love what Liz says here. So, never mind. I know what you're going to answer is. You know you want to hit on Ninian.
Yes.
And then Ayla was like, hey, back the fuck up.
Yep. Alright. So, yeah.
So you were saying?
The thing about Lynn's story is that the weird thing about Lynn's story is that it kind of doesn't really tie into the larger plot of this game. It's just sort of a preamble to get you, to get you interested in Lynn, even though she's not as main of a character as the other two lords.
Yeah, that's the entire point.
I know, which I mean I kind of do and don't get that at the same time, because on the one hand, I mean, Lynn is considered one of the better characters in the game. She's one of the most beloved in the series, but at the same time, it's like she's almost kind of like an afterthought character in this game, which is weird because, I mean, obviously Binding Blade was made before this, and they had no idea that Lyn was going to exist, but it's like, you know, if... It's like, why is she here, almost? That's kind of, you know...
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
She's kind of like the, she wasn't born a Lord, no, she's kind of like the... Not exactly the third... Like the Robin of this game, but not exactly the third party.
Yeah, I mean... And that's... I don't know where I'm going with this.
Like, Lyn, even though she's one of the most beloved, you feel she's, like, just... She doesn't actually, in the grand scheme of things, she doesn't do that much.
Well, here's the thing, is that Lyn and her campaign just... It's just weird, because they don't really tie into anything. Like, they're almost just sort of there.
I think they're meant to be, like, standalone, just for the sake of getting people into Fire Emblem. But in the grand scheme of things, they don't really add to much.
Yeah. And so, it looks like we've got a Gaiden chapter coming up.
Yes, we do. But until then, thank you all very much for joining us. Once again, Zane, thanks for being back with us. And we'll see you all next time for Chapter 7X.
See ya!